Yo, what is up, you sexy ass motherfuckers? Welcome back to yet another Rome 2 Total War Siege battle. This one was sent by the man, the myth, the legend himself, Dark Spawn. He's saying it said that it's a really good battle. I have yet to actually see it, so I'm very excited to witness such a battle. But guys, make sure you sit back, relax, grab yourself something to eat, something to drink, go jerk off a quick one, call your grandmother and tell her that you love her, preferably not while you're jerking off a quick one. Do whatever you guys gotta do, and let's get into it. It looks like Bacteria actually went ahead and sent in some mobile artillery, some very, very expensive mobile artillery, but they're just using it to break down the wall, which is very interesting to see. The artillery is taking a lot of wall artillery fire, so I do not believe that this artillery is going to be long for this world, but we shall most definitely see here. Going over the army comps, we've got Bactria, Seleucids, and I believe Rome. Yeah, Rome. For some reason, I'm just blind. The Roman Empire. On the attacking side, it looks like Bactria bringing some Eastern Spearmen, Bactrian Hillmen, Thorax Swordsmen, Persian Light Archers, Bactrian Royal Guard, and Theros Spears. Looking over at the Seleucids, we've got Citizen Cavalry. We've got 2 units of Citizen Cavalry. Definitely expecting some sort of a sally out. Thorax swordsmen, lots and lots of thorax swordsmen, some elephants, Indian war elephants. Got to be careful about that though. I mean, I'm glad it's cool to see an entire army moving up at one time, but they do have to be careful of the fire arrows from the towers. If those elephants go berserk now, they are going to get so much friendly fire, so they got to be extra careful about that. They also have a shield bearer general, very powerful general, and then some just regular archers here by the Seleucids. Looking over at the Roman player, we've got plenty of legionary cohort, some Hastati, auxiliary Syrian archers, probably some Balsac slingers, Legatus himself, some Vigiles, and some Praetorian Guard, 2 units of that, as well as some stationary artillery as well. Looking over at the defenders, in this case, I believe Darkspawn is a defender, although I don't remember which faction he's playing. We've got the all-powerful Arvernian, extremely powerful faction, one that is always good to see. Chosen Swordsmen, Celtic Warriors, Gallic Hunters, and I'm sure we've got some Oathsworn here somewhere as well. Naked Warriors. There's the Iceni General. There's the Oathsworn General from Arvernia. We've also got a Sally out from Arvernia as well. Sorry about that, guys. Using some Levy Freeman Celtic Warriors as well as some Light Horse getting ready to sally out. Looking over at the next defending faction, we've got Iceni. We've got Druidic Nobles, which is a really cool unit to see. They're all white kind of capes with the pajama pants and rocking everything that they can. They look absolutely gorgeous. Love the Druidic Nobles. We've got Bretonnian Skirmishers, Chosen Swordsmen, and I'm sure we've got some regular swordsmen around here as well. Last but certainly not least, we've got King of the Paltus, King of the Throwables, King of the Javelins. We've got Illyrian Marines, Mercenary Axe Warriors, Celtic Warriors. I'm sure we got some nobles. There we go, Illyrian Noble Hoplites. And then we've got some some slave slingers as well. Very clumped up over here. If that artillery, I don't know if that artillery is still alive. The artillery is somehow still alive. I'm actually really surprised that Arverni was unable to take out that artillery with their own wall artillery. But we've got this artillery quickly moving up. If they can actually move around here, this would be a beautiful shot right here. Very clumped up units. Definitely a prime target for some artillery fire. We've got Arverni starting to move up with their Levy Freeman, moving in to start trying to engage with the Citizen Cavalry. We've got Bactrian Light Horse, as well as a mixture of Seleucid and Bactrian forces quickly moving up to fight against those that sally out from their city, trying to utilize their advantage of having a little bit more money to be able to quickly take out some lighter forces from the defenders. Over here, we've got Bactria quickly moving in with quite a lot of troops here right at the beginning. I would not recommend this at all. Moving one at a time, especially if it's just this one area, maybe even two, so that way you can move at both sides. But especially whenever there's Peltas coming in, you're definitely going to take some more losses here because your troops are way more clumped up. And don't fight Don't fight like this where it's a whole bunch of units fighting against one unit when you only need one, because you're going to have a whole bunch of units back here that aren't fighting at all, aren't getting any kills, and all of these units are going to get tired. And once they get extremely tired, once they get winded, once they get exhausted, then their attack power goes down by quite a lot. Great move by these forces over here, moving over to the side so that way they can get a whole bunch of pelts and fire into this clumping of thorax swordsmen. Definitely going to see a lot of dead soldiers on this day. Looking back over to where the Seleucids are fighting, Seleucids are taking their time, making the smart move of moving in one troop at a time. They're sending in a unit of thorax swordsmen to be able to fight against these Celtic warriors, which are holding valiantly. I wonder what faction actually took Carthage in this case, because you don't see Carthage defending their own city. See, don't do this either. I mean, with the Seleucids, they're moving in so many different troops when you don't need this many troops. Have them close behind, continuously cycle in and out troops, that way you continue to get that charge bonus against these forces. You can get a whole lot more kills. Just don't clump up like this. Just, it's not worth it. You're not going to get nearly as many kills. We've even got some pikemen moving up right off the bat. Our defenders here actually have, for the most part, slingers, so if they can't get a good position against these pikemen, then these pikemen are going to be able to do some damage. Looking over at Rome, we've got Rome starting to move in slowly but surely. We've got some legionary cohort on the walls trying to move down to engage with the Celtic warriors and chosen swordsmen of Arverni, but getting absolutely pelted by javelins. Just moving in a couple of troops to be able to take all of this javelin fire, losing man after man to porcupines. Oh my goodness, yeah, these legionaries are getting absolutely trashed by javelin fire and archer fire, I believe. Yep, we got some Gallic hunters actually starting to fire into the legionaries as well, having 70 out of 160 men left with only 15 kills, and now about to get sandwiched by some troops. Rome keeping a lot of their forces outside. The legionary cohorts of Rome staying outside, biding their time and looking for a good opportunity while they allow their allies to try and move through these forces. Over here, Arverni's kind of at a little bit of a standoff. There's not too many troops facing off against them that we can see. I know we've got some hidden troops that we just saw moving in here. We've got Persian light archers, but we've got some troops hiding in this tiny little forested area, biding their time and waiting for the defenders to strike with their attacking force. But the defenders are going to bide their time and wait for a good opportunity. To be able to move in here. We've even got the attackers utilizing their Greek onager, their mobile artillery, to fire at long distances. I mean, usually when you see mobile artillery like this, attackers bringing mobile artillery, they like to do what's called shotgunning, which is move the artillery into the settlement, park it right here, and just absolutely... Oh, there's my dog just kind of coming in and sneaking up on me. Hi, baby girl. But coming in and just... Because this would be a perfect shotgun point. Move your artillery in right here and just start peppering the shit out of these guys at point blank range, getting an absolute shit ton of kills, which would be perfect. Bretonnian skirmishers actually going up on the wall, preparing to start firing down onto these troops. Bactria doing the smart move of actually falling back some of those thorax swordsmen, allowing them to rest up. They are winded, so their stats aren't nearly as good right now, but allowing them to sit back, rest up, and prepare for the ensuing battle ahead. Looking back over, holy smokes, we've got a lot of forces in the fray from the Seleucids. I mean, we've got thorax swordsman after thorax swordsman in the fray against multiple units of mercenary Celtic warriors, really trying to use their bulk to move past these units and start getting a lot of kills. I would almost move a hoplite unit if you have it to get right here. Just hold back these guys, tire them, so that way they're not nearly as good in the melee. Because this is a great opportunity for the defenders to either get archer fire from the side, tire out a whole bunch of units. I mean, just hold them back while they can focus down other areas. This is a perfect, opportune moment for the attackers. Archers moving in, trying to support their frontline new troops, trying to get a little bit of frontal side fire down onto these Illyrian Marines, which are holding valiantly against the thorax swordsmen. We've got multiple skirmishers, slave slingers, as well as Bretonnian skirmishers up on the walls. We've even got some light horse charging into some levy freemen, charging into a spear unit, which is definitely very interesting to see. I mean, if he was going to move the light horse through the spearmen after knocking them down and go after some ranged troops, then I would support this. But there's really no ranged troops. The defenders don't have any ranged troops outside of the walls. I mean, they got a few kills on the Levy Freeman, but for the most part, they lost more than they really dealt. Levy Freeman doing a great job of holding the line. Over here, the Greek Onager actually starting to break from the Slingers firing down upon it. The Greek Onager only having 14 kills, and for an over 1,000 point unit, that is very, very sad to see if you're rooting for the attackers. This Onager is not going to be long for this world, and really hasn't been able to utilize their Onager to the best of their ability. Over here, we've got Bactria moving up their Eastern Spearmen to be able to begin their engagement against these Chosen Swordband, trying to attack every single point that they can and utilize their forces to the best of their abilities as well. Another thing not to do, guys, what Bactria is doing over here is whenever you have troops on the wall or fighting against troops on the wall, don't station them right in front of the wall, because as you can see, for the most part, almost all of these arrows are hitting the wall and not doing any damage to the Slingers or the Peltis unit that's over here. While the Peltis unit has a great angle on these archers, move these archers over here and then get a nice side fire on these troops, because you will absolutely melt them. And because they're Slingers, because they're skirmishers, they won't be able to really get in too much of an angle over on this side too, so you just have free reign on absolutely destroying these ranged units. Looking over at Rome's side, Rome's still kind of going in piecemeal. Rome set up some of their archers, which are getting kind of countered over here by the Celtic Slingers and Gallic Hunters. Got to be careful. Putting archers on the walls, putting Slingers or range units on the walls is not a bad thing. But especially whenever you haven't taken ground and you're highly susceptible to fire from all fronts. I mean, you've got archer fire coming in, slinger fire coming in from almost all angles onto these archers, and they're clumped up. They're trying to get off the tower, and Rome 2 is a little glitchy too. Whenever they're trying to get off the tower, it's really hard to get them to fire. So these slingers and these archers are going to take a lot of losses, and I'm not sure that they're really going to be able to get any kills. We've even got the auxiliary Syrian archer from Rome beginning to break already, and they sent him up. I mean, they've got a little bit of protection here from the Astadi, but we've got Celtic warriors from Arverni actually moved up onto the walls to be able to engage with these guys and hopefully start getting some kills. If they're going to move up their archers like this, they really need to start focusing their fire over on these troops here. Which it looks like they're starting to fire onto these guys, but the Slingers have already done so much damage against these archers, so much damage against these Slingers. If they start getting fire on with their archers, get a volley off, then stop. Because the cool thing with these Gallic Hunters is pretty much as soon as you stop firing, like if these Hunters go here, they can fire a volley, stop, and then they completely disappear, so it's really hard for them to be able to return volley unless they're paying very close attention. But yeah, these Balearic Slingers with 24 kills, only having 48 men left, are going to break here pretty quickly. Over here, Seleucid still making the mistake of clumping up their units like this. I mean, all of their units now are very tired. They're not going to be doing nearly as well in melee because whenever you're tired, your stats go down. So right now they're at what, like 30% less their statistics are like 30% less. So they're not going to be able to get nearly as much kill. Again, really trying to utilize the bulk of their units to move through this place, but the defenders are doing a great job of just moving up one, maybe two units at a time to be able to hold back these troops and continue to bring them down and get a whole lot of kills on these forces. Over here, I missed it, but we actually have Light Horse by Arverni moved up and engaged with the archers. The Persian light archers are beginning to break, as well as the Greek Onager with 4 men left. The Light Horse really getting their money's worth. They're pretty cheap, so definitely a really good use of that cav unit. And we've even got the Levy Freeman here with their Peltis close by to be able to support the cav units and throw some Pila into the fray and start getting some kills against these Bactrian Hillmen, against some of these Thorax Swordsmen and Thero Spears as well. We've got Bactrian Light Horse quickly moving in to be able to support their troops, moving into the Levy Freeman to be able to try and stop the rain of fire, as they also have some Bactrian Hillmen quickly charging in to be able to engage with these Levy Freemen as well, and again, just try to do as much damage as they can, stop the rain of fire, and stop this push by the defenders. We've even got the Seleucids over here with their Citizen Cavalry charging into the Celtic warriors. Got to be careful about that. Citizen Cavalry are decent-ish. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't ever really recommend bringing Citizen Cavalry. That's why they're called Citizen Cavalry. But they're all right at kind of defending against like additional cav and kind of holding them off for a little bit while the infantry comes in to support. But for the most part, Citizen Cavalry is like if you're gonna charge into the fronts of Celtic Warriors and Levy Freeman or any melee unit, then you want some sort of shock cavalry. You want some Hippeus Lancers or just something very powerful that's going to really get a lot of damage in on that initial charge. Looking over at Rome, Rome has begun to move a lot of forces in. We've got chosen swordsmen fighting against the Praetorian Guard, the elite of the Roman Empire. We've got 2 units of Praetorian Guard. Beautiful position from the skirmishers. They should turn around and start getting some great flanking fire on these Praetorian Guard. They can really rack up some kills over there. Legionary Cohort beginning to break with only 59 kills against the might of the Chosen Swordsman, with 186 kills against the elite forces of Rome. Always good to see. Legionary Cohort, 93 men left, 55 kills, still fighting against the remnants of these forces. We've got another unit of Hastati that has moved through and is now engaged with the Bretonnian skirmishers. We've got some more forces, some naked warriors actually moving up to be able to stop these Hastati from continuing to push on their ranged troops. Great job from Rome, really trying to do what they can to be able to get rid of these skirmishers and stop their reign of terror from firing into their more elite units. But it looks like we do have the Bretonnian skirmishers quickly turning around to be able to fire into the flanks of these Praetorian Guard, into the sides of the Praetorian Guards. Hopefully they'll be able to get some kills. And with the support of the dual archer towers and the archer tower over here, well, that has been neutralized now, but the support of these archer towers as well, they're going to be able to get a lot of kills. And the Thorax Swordsmen of Bactria close by, trying to support wherever they can, but they are beginning to crumble against the might of the Chosen Swordsman from Iceni. Over here, the bulk of these Thorax Swordsmen are still moving through, still trying to do whatever they can to be able to move through this absolute blob of troops. We've got fire going into these Illyrian Marines. Illyrian Marines, 124 men left with 115 kills. I mean, they are the kings of Paltus. I mean, they are the kings of javelins. They can get so much damage off, do so much damage. It's always good to see. But now it looks like they are going to go ahead and charge in, stop the rain of fire from the Theros spears, and start trying to get as many kills as they possibly can. Bactria is still having some good forces, some archer forces over here on the side, trying to fire into the forces. Arvernes kind of decided to fall back the remnants of their outside troops back into the settlement to be able to move them up to the front lines and support in any way, shape, or form that he possibly can here. But yep, the Theros Spears, the reign of terror is over with these Theros Spears. They are now engaged with the Illyrian Marines, and hopefully those Marines will be able to get a decent amount of kills against these troops. We've even got some archers from the Seleucids with their beautiful farmers hats. I gotta get one of these for my hat of shame. If you guys didn't know, I do stream at twitch.tv/CAPN4IS. As of this point in time, we are 5 followers away from that big 1,000,000, and I will be doing a little bit of a giveaway at 1,000 followers, as well as some specialized stuff during the stream that I know a lot of people have been asking for, so make sure you guys do not miss it. Also, we're trying to reach 300 subscribers by the end of this month. We've still got 9 days remaining. Guys, if we can reach that by the end of this month, I would love you guys forever. So if you guys wouldn't mind hitting that sub button, that would just make my entire year. Looking back over, we're going to go ahead and look back over at Bactria right now. Iceni has successfully defended against the Bactrian Thorax Swordsmen that have moved into the fray, but now, so the Thorax Swordsmen that were close behind are going to kind of sit back, relax, kind of stop pushing over on this flank. It looks like the large grouping of Thorax Swordsmen from the Seleucids have broken over here. We actually have Chance, which increases the morale of all of these troops that was cast. So now we've got a huge morale boost on a lot of troops over here. But yeah, we've got Mercenary Axe Warriors, 2 units of them defending against the Seleucids. Seleucids actually beginning to move up their pikemen. They're going to take a lot of javelin fire, so they got to be careful about that. They need to move in quickly if they're going to devote these the Thorax pikemen. But they also have to be very careful because there are 2 units of slave slingers right on this hill in a prime position to be able to fire down and completely demolish these pikes. So hopefully the pikes can get in and get a little bit of kills. But they are going to take a little bit of losses here, and this is a good flanking opportunity from those Axe Warriors. There is no support here. There's a gap right here that they can utilize. If they move up, if they keep this unit pinned with the Axe Warriors, I mean, right now they're utilizing their their Javies to completely demolish this pikeman unit as well. So I mean, they didn't even need to flank, but if they did flank, they would have been able to kill these archers with ease. So that way they wouldn't have to deal with them anymore as well. Over here, Bactria is really utilizing whatever forces they can to really push on this flank, trying to do as much damage as possible. But we got the might of the Illyrian Marines holding off against the Thera Spears and Thorax Swordsman combination, and doing a great job of getting a decent amount of kills as well. And especially with the support of that Archer Tower, the Archer Tower is going to be able to get a lot of kills. We've even got some ambushers moving up from Iceni, going in. These archers have no support. We've got elephants actually being moved in from the Seleucids, and I don't see any archer capabilities over here. This could be a potentially a really good moment for those elephants to move in, but we've got ambushers actually moving into the Persian light archers, still having ammo. They still have their bows out. They're going to go ahead and move in to take out these light archers, and they need to keep moving through and taking out as many archers as possible. And it looks like the attackers haven't quite noticed. Bactria just noticed. Now they're moving up. They're moving out the Thorax Swordsman as well as some Thera Spears, but now the ambushers are going to go ahead and fall back, try to get to a better position, but they're not going to be able to run quick enough. They are not a cav unit, so they're going to turn around, and after taking out the rest of that archer unit, keeping them from being able to fire into their troops, they're going to now engage with the Thera Spears and the Thorax Swordsman and hopefully get a lot of kills. But so far, almost 90 kills now with 155 men remaining. I believe in these ambushers. I believe and Steve. Guys, if you know what YouTube channel I just quoted, please tell me down in the comments below. They are one of my favorite. Here's a hint. They're primarily a Warhammer 40k channel, but they also have started doing a lot of Legion, and then a little medieval like fantasy type game as well. Really good YouTube channel. But the Indian War Elephants are in the fray. They need to keep moving in, keep fighting against these hoplite units, keep fighting against whatever troops they can. They're really trying to utilize these elephants to go and try and weaken these forces. So hopefully these Indian War Elephants, these expensive Indian War Elephants, will be able to get some good kills. Looking back over, we've actually got Bactria's general, the Bactrian Royal Guard, in the fray with some pikemen. They're doing so. This is an unspoken rule, but never pike stack. So I don't know if they're meaning to do this at all, but never put your pikes inside of another unit. So they're going to go ahead and fall back here, which is awesome to see. You never want to see pike stacking, but never put a unit inside of a pike unit, because it basically makes that pike indestructible, because the pike is very susceptible to archer fire, and whenever you put a heavily armored unit inside of a pike unit, then it makes it so that pike unit just basically cannot die from ranged fire, and it's highly frowned upon in the Rome 2 community. Now, like I said, I don't think that they meant to do this, but I just wanted to use that as an example. What the hell happened to Rome? Oh my god, we missed it. What the hell even happened to Rome over here? Looks like Rome was completely defeated, taking a whole bunch of losses. Now we've got a whole shit ton of forces coming in from over where Rome was attacking, now able to move over to the side and start firing into these troops. We've got Bretonnian skirmishers moving in. I don't know if they still have ammo, but potentially moving in to start firing into the sides of these troops. They need to move up these shield bearers or just something to be able to stop the rain of fire from these forces. We've got ambushers still engaged on the outside here. We've got Hillman beginning to break. Oh no. Yep, the elephants are beginning to break with 148 kills, and they are going back into their own forces. It will not contribute to their overall kill count, but trust me, they are getting plenty of kills on their own forces here. Any single force that they move through, like these Thorax Swordsmen, they're going to get a lot of friendly fire off on these guys. They just killed a whole bunch of breaking Thorax Swordsmen as well. We've got more archer fire going in, trying to quickly take out these berserking elephants. They do not know what they're doing, moving back and forth, I mean, just going completely berserk, and the defenders are doing a great job of utilizing their ammo to try and take out these elephants. But now the elephants are moving back into their own forces again, moving into these archers, potentially getting some kills on them. They're going to go ahead and break the rest of that Bactrian Hillman. Oh, if they move back and out into these Thera Spears to support these ambushers with 191 kills, well done by the ambushers. That would be huge. And now we've got the Indian War Elephants actually moving back in. Indian War Elephants moving in to be able to get some kills against the ambushers, potentially even ending their reign of terror as well. But the Indian War Elephants have stopped their breaking, and now they're going to go ahead and charge back in using Trample. They are exhausted, but hopefully the Trample will do some kills. They lose one, but Trample is allowing them to move through a lot of units and rack up a decent amount of kills here. The Elephants are just going up in kills, 280 kills thus far, and they still actually have elephants on the outside of the walls as well. They are out of control again because of the fire ammo from the towers, as well as a lot of the ammo from there, unless there's two units that I don't know of. Or no, these are both the same unit. Okay, but yeah, with 282 kills, getting a lot of kills on their opponents, but they are also getting a decent amount of kills. Yep, on their own forces as well. Whenever they're out of control like that, they're going to get some kills on the archers. For the most part, they just knocked them down. Okay, never mind. These guys are not out of control anymore, so that is always good to see. We've got a huge force of Arverni actually on the outside of the walls, engaged on the outside of the walls, completely surrounding the attacking forces. The attacking forces using their citizen cavalry to stop. How the fuck did Celtic Warhounds get 155 kills? I think they are in my opinion, they are oh no, come on, turn, yes, get the archers, beautiful. Oh, the charge was a little rough, but, I mean, you gotta get those archers, stop those archers from being able to fire into your forces. But I have never seen dogs get more than, like, 10 kills before. And the fact that those dogs got 155 kills blows my mind. Bactria is beginning to mass break. I mean, the armies of Bactria are beginning to mass break. Seleucid is beginning to mass break. And I think that it is safe to say that this is going to be a win for the defenders. Holy smokes. I think I don't know if I have a video that's called what not to do, but this video might also be what not to do. Let's go ahead and look kind of at what the attackers did. Whenever they so they brought in a super expensive catapult, mobile catapult unit that usually when you bring that in, that's for shotgunning units to be able to get a lot of kills. They used it like it was a stationary unit to be able to break down walls. They didn't protect it with towers or anything, which gave the defenders, luckily the defenders weren't able to fully take it out, but gave the defenders a great opportunity to be able to take out that mobile artillery unit as well. So just whenever you're bringing something that expensive, just make sure you utilize it to the best of your ability. You have turrets, you have towers. You don't need to use the mobile artillery to break down a wall because it's going to take a lot of ammo to break down a solid stone wall with a tiny little catapult unit. Whenever the attackers were moving in, they really clumped up a lot of their forces against one individual troop. So remember, guys, you only really need to have one unit fighting on the front line against another unit at one time. Unless that unit's getting surrounded, then of course you can move in more units to kind of help and defend it. Don't clump up a whole bunch of units into one unit because they're just going to get tired and they're not going to be able to get very many kills at all. And then with their archers, they really left their archers exposed there. I mean, they really didn't have much in the way of defenses in their flank. And especially, I mean, they saw that Arverni had a lot of forces on the outside ready to flank against them. So they really didn't defend their flanks too often. Always defend your flank as an attacker because you never know what cheeky things that the defenders have planned or in store for you. With the archers firing against the wall, the archers were right in front of the wall, firing directly into the wall, trying to take out the guys, the ranged units on top of the wall, firing upon them. Guys, again, that angle, trying to move over onto the sides of the wall or firing at a different angle. If you're going to fire onto the top of the wall, you have to make sure you have a good angle to be able to make sure your shots actually make it, or else you're just wasting a lot of men and a lot of ammo, especially when you're moved up right against the wall, so that way they can just fire onto you. Got to be extra careful about that. And then with the pike units, they kind of moved up their pike units really early. I mean, I understand that they were running low on troops, but the defenders had a ton of ranged capabilities. I mean, Jamham, fucking Jamham, dude, what a legend. Jamham was playing primarily like a ranged faction, so he was able to really just absolutely pepper those pikemen and make sure that those pikes didn't do jack diddly squat. So that was really rough. And with the elephants, I mean, they moved them in, they tried to get a lot of kills, they saw good opportunities, so I don't think they really did anything wrong with those elephants. And then with Rome, Rome really just was way too hesitant at the beginning to be able to start going in and engaging, and he was completely separated from their allies. With Carthage, Carthage was really hard to start attacking that long wall, because if you're the only one attacking that long wall, the defenders have so many different ways to be able to flank around you, get flanking fire, top down fire, side fire. I mean, have a lot of advantages against your forces to be able to really start doing a ton of damage against you. So ultimately, I mean, there's just a lot of things that the attackers could have done differently, but overall it was a good battle. As far as like the defenders go, I mean, they did a really good job of defending. It seemed like Arverni and Iceni at one point really kind of slacked at defending their range units, and Rome took advantage of that. So well done by the attacking Rome, moving in to try and take out those ranged units, and keep them from firing into their men. Oh, and another thing with Rome too, don't move up your range units whenever your opponent has a whole bunch of range units right next to you in a great position to be able to fire down upon you and instantly melt you, because you will lose your range units. Save them. Use them to fire over the wall onto the sides. It's better to use them in the utilize the cover of your opponent's defenses to be able to get some kills, than to move up onto your opponent's defenses to an advantageous point of your of your opponent, to be able to fire down on you and not get any kills. So just a lot of little things that the attackers could have done differently. Definitely a rough battle for them. Let's go ahead and look at the kills though. Jamham getting 1,561 kills. Hawkins getting 2,199, being the MVP of this game. Darkspawn getting 1,388. Eric getting 1,202. Dausk getting 1,109. Akoma getting 1,273. Some of the highlights: Jam 352 kills on those ambushers, which were really cool to see. Eric looks like the max was 169 giggity on those Thero spears. Hawkins, we've got, I'm trying to see the biggest unit of Hawkins, most kills on him: 201 on those chosen swordsmen, 309 on the elephants. Always the elephants, always good to see elephants. I love elephants and chariots. Always bring elephants to chariots, guys. Please send me some major elephant and chariot replays. Love to see it. We've got Darkspawn 352 on those ambushers. Wait a second, we were already looking at Darkspawn. I don't think I looked at Jamham. Hold on, Jamham. What was your key? Key unit looked like 188 on that unit right there. And then Akoma, last but certainly not least, we've got Akoma. Looks like maybe 130, 176 with Praetorian Guard. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I do appreciate it. If you liked this video at all, I mean, I'm assuming you did because you watched till the end, which I do appreciate. Make sure to hit that like button. It really helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. It helps me to reach out to more of you sexy ass motherfuckers. If you guys also like this video, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Again, we are trying to hit that 300 subscriber count by the end of this month. If we can reach that, I would love you guys forever. And if you want to see my sexy face and hear more of my sexy voice, make sure to check out my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/CAPN4IS. I do stream there Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 5 p.m. MST every single week, so make sure you guys check that out, with an occasional surprise stream every once in a while as well. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video again. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.